music in this morning from none other than the Mississippi Mass Choir. And how excellent. It's time now to head on over to the Met Office, where we find Ian McKenzie with another look at the weather.
Mostly stable conditions and moderate to fresh winds across the country. Elsewhere, a weak foul boundary in the vicinity of the southeast Bahamas will continue to dissipate today. Special warnings are in place. Beachgoers should exercise caution due to the high risk of rip currents along north and east coast beaches. For the northwest Bahamas today, weather partly sunny, warm and breezy, turning mostly fair and a bit breezy tonight. For you boaters, a small craft caution is in effect. Winds will be easterly at 15 to 20 knots over open waters, with the seas running 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. For the central and southeast Bahamas, weather variable cloudiness, warm and breezy to windy, with the slight chance of a passing shower through tonight. For you boaters, a small craft advisory remains in effect. Winds will be northeast to east at 15 to 25 knots over open waters, with the seas running 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. Daytime high in the capital should get up to 81 Fahrenheit or 27 on the Celsius, tipping down tonight to 68 Fahrenheit or 20 on the Celsius scale. The sun will rise at 6:50 a.m. and set this evening at 7:30 p.m. Tide is high will be low at 10:52 a.m. High this afternoon at 4:47 p.m. Low again tonight at 10:58 p.m. In your extended forecast, high pressure will remain the dominant weather feature while supporting moderate to occasionally strong winds across the area through Thursday. Outlook for Tuesday, weather partly to mostly sunny, warm and breezy to windy with the chance of a few isolated showers, mainly across the southeast Bahamas. For boaters, a small craft caution will remain in effect for the northwest Bahamas, while small craft operators in the central and southeast Bahamas are advised to not venture far from port. Winds will be easterly at 15 to 20 in the northwest Bahamas and 15 to 25 knots, but gusty at times in the central and southeast Bahamas. The seas will be running 4 to 7 in the northwest Bahamas and 5 to 8 feet but high in gusts in the central and southeast Bahamas. Outlook for Wednesday, pretty much a carbon copy of Tuesday. Weather partly mostly sunny, warm and breezy to windy with a chance of a few isolated showers, mainly across the southeast Bahamas. For boat, a small craft caution will remain in effect for the northwest Bahamas, while a small craft advisory will be in effect for the central and southeast Bahamas. Winds will be east to southeast 15 to 20 knots in the northwest Bahamas and easterly at 15 to 25 knots in the central and southeast Bahamas. The seas will be running 4 to 7 feet in the northwest Bahamas and 5 to 8 feet in the central and southeast Bahamas. That puts a wrap on your forecast from the Department of Meteorology. I'm Ian McKenzie.
And thank you so much for that, Ian. We do appreciate you. The time is now 6:56. It's time for your Constitutional Minute. Did you know that according to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Article 126, Paragraph 2, a member of a commission shall be removed from office by the Governor General if the question of his removal from office has been referred to a tribunal appointed under Paragraph 3 of this article, and the tribunal has recommended
This is the ZNS Network, providing radio and high-definition television services for the entire Bahamas. ZNS Network is operated by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. It is located at Harcourt Rusty Bethel Drive, Centerville, Nassau. Our programming is designed to inform, educate, and entertain. We invite you to join us.
The following is a preamble of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Whereas 481 years ago, the rediscovery of this family of islands, rocks and keys, heralded the rebirth of the New World. And whereas the people of this family of islands, recognizing that the preservation of their freedom will be guaranteed by a national commitment to self-discipline, industry, loyalty, unity, and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law. Now, know we therefore, we the inheritors of and successors to this family of islands, recognizing the supremacy of God and believing in the fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, do hereby proclaim in solemn praise the establishment of a free and democratic sovereign nation, founded on spiritual values, and in which no man, woman, or child shall ever be slave or bondsman to anyone or their labor exploited, or their lives frustrated by deprivation, and do hereby provide by these articles for the indivisible unity and creation under God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
It's Monday, April 11th, 2022, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, a Bahamian student killed in a traffic accident overseas. A deadly police-involved shooting on the streets of the capital. A blind entrepreneur shares his story of survival. And Lucius Fox making the most of his Major League debut. So let's start the morning off right.
Edition is brought to you by We Buy You Sell Company, your leading hurricane impact windows, doors, and tile specialist.
Energy and persistence conquers all things. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to be back. I am Charles Fisher right here with LaDawn, looking like one of the eggs out of the Easter basket these kids are going to open up this weekend. Good morning, LaDawn. How you doing?
Good morning. So how was Cat Island? I don't see any fish on the table.
Cat Island was so sweet. I did not want to come back. I called home, tell them pack my bags and put it on the boat. So you know when I got back home, I got a tongue lashing. So I'll soon be back to Cat Island, one of my favorite islands. We're so finally happy to get out of Nassau and enjoy that fresh breeze and waking up in the morning to just the birds chirping and the roosters.
You're just rubbing it in, right?
On the street, so I had a good time. But I'm glad to be back in the company as we get into this Holy Week. How was your time at home? You miss me?
Pretty good, yeah. We kind of, sort of did.
And you're asking about fish. Yeah, I got some fish, but they are not thawed out as yet. So
really?
I'm going to bring it to you guys on Saturday.
But Good Friday is Friday. That's when we eat the fish. We're going to need fish on Friday.
The fish are in the freezer.
So you're going to fry them for us in season and everything.
Season and bring it for you guys on Saturday.
And we want to say thank you to Lisa Thurston, who brought us some flour cake all the way from Cat Island.
Yeah, so
thank you for bringing that for us.
She made sure I brought that back for you. So we're in for a very great week. We're only on for 4 days this week. We'll be off on Good Friday. But it is a busy week, and Corporal Patrick Kemp is out there with our Aunt Renee Smith to tell us how this weekend traffic went and how things are going to shape up this coming week.
Good morning, Fisher and LaDawn, and good morning to our viewers across the entirety of the Bahamas. Your very chilly Monday morning traffic report is coming to you live from Faith Avenue and St. Vincent Road, and I can tell you this is surprisingly a very active area for a Monday morning. Joining us this morning, as always, is Corporal Patrick Kemp of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning, Aunt Renee, and good morning, Bahamas.
Alrighty, so you chose this area this morning, Corporal Camp. Tell us about the significance of this area.
Well, Anthony, let me tell you, if it's one intersection that is a very busy intersection on this island, it would be Faith Avenue, an area of St. Vincent Road. And anybody that traverses through in this area, they know that to be a fact. And so I want to encourage the drivers that are traveling in this area to please pay special attention when you're entering an accident, especially at this area, Faith Avenue, St. Vincent, and Croton Road. We have a lot of accidents that take place at this intersection. Also, I want to say to the drivers, even though you may be on the main thoroughfare, when you approach any intersection, I still want you to be mindful and careful that persons are still trying to enter onto the main road as well. So it's okay to be courteous, but especially pay attention because persons do tend to just pull out in front of you, and thus an accident occur.
I guess this is a good time to double in on the main cause of accidents and how motorists could really avoid that.
Well, one of the main causes of traffic accidents would be simply because persons are driving without due care and attention. All right, and if you're driving without due care and attention, you're distracted because of whatever activities you have going on in your vehicle. Again, for persons who are, especially for our ladies, I'm all for beautification, but we have to learn to prepare at home as opposed to while you're driving. Persons who are making the tea while they're driving, dealing with the kids while they're driving, on their cell phone, still making that call or texting. These are all distractions that cause accidents to occur. So I want the drivers to be mindful of this and stay focused.
All right, well, we can't all be good drivers, so lastly, I'm just going to ask you to give us just a little bit of advice for persons who may need it.
You're referring to persons with special abilities and what they do while they're driving?
Persons who just
beautify themselves, right? We spoke about that the other day. Again, preparation is always key. You want to prepare ahead of time before leaving home so that the only thing that you're doing when you're driving is focusing while you're on the street, on the road, and focusing for yourself and those other bad drivers. And let me tell you, Anthony, we have some bad drivers on our streets. Sometimes I wish I was a magician to just make them disappear. I see persons make some terrible decisions that is reckless and dangerous to the motoring public, and I want those persons to please cease and desist.
All right, guys, well, you've heard it here first. According to Kemp here, please do not attempt to put on lashes while you're driving. Apparently, that's a big cause of accidents. And please pay attention to the road at all times. And that's all the time we have for now in our traffic report. Fisher Madon, we're going to send it back to you.
Thanks a lot. Like you said, we are waking up to a chilly 69 degrees, winds east at 11 miles per hour, humidity 66%. Now, large high-pressure system centered north of the area will support mostly stable conditions and moderate to fresh winds across the country. Elsewhere, a weak frontal boundary in the vicinity of the southeast Bahamas will continue to dissipate today. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly sunny, warm and breezy. Today, mostly fair and bit breezy tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, weather very cloudiness, warm and breezy to windy, with a slight chance of a passing shower throughout tonight. Your daytime high temperature, 81 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low of 68. And as we look ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday, winds, expect some winds on both days, gradually subsiding. 83 in the day, 71 in the night on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, 84 in the day, 73 at night.
An early Saturday commute turned deadly for a Bahamian student in the United States. 21-year-old Raymond Roll, a student at the University of Haven, was killed after the vehicle he was a passenger in crashed into a tree. Ray, as he was affectionately called, was an active member of Salem Baptist Church, where reflections took place on Sunday.
A real difficult time. You would understand the grief that is going on with his father, Raymond, his mother, Linda, his sister, Ramika, and his brother Rashawn. I've been speaking with the medical examiner there. I've been speaking with the police officer. He was very gracious to us, gave us all of the necessary information that we need. That's when I'll be going to actually speak to the consulate, the embassy up there in New York, to begin to get the process of retrieval and brought back home.
A police-involved shooting over the weekend resulting in a suspect being fatally wounded. Initial reports indicate that police were responding to calls of an armed robbery in the inner city when the incident unfolded.
Officers responded, and while canvassing the area, they were patrolling Hospital Lane north, and they came upon a suspect And as they engaged the suspect, that suspect produced a firearm. The officers produced their service weapon and discharged it, hitting the suspect a number of times. On checking the suspect, it was discovered that he was wearing a bulletproof vest. And following that, the EMS was called to the scene. Following their assessment, they found that there was no signs of life. Her Majesty's coroner visited the scene, and she was appraised of the facts. Following this investigation, the file will be forwarded to the coroner's office, where a coroner's inquest will be held. The suspect appears to be in his early 30s. I also want to add that the suspect the police also recovered a firearm from the suspect.
As part of its 2021 16 Days of Activism, the Zonta Club of New Providence helping a number of women in the Angliston community to achieve their dreams. Area Member of Parliament, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, was grateful for the initiative.
I want to say thank you on behalf of the people of Angliston for this very, very important intervention in the lives of young women in a community that faces many challenges and where every little bit helps. And Zonta, coming out of Centerville, starting in Angliston, appreciates this and understands how important it is to provide the stimulus, the support, the encouragement for young women to advance themselves progressively.
COVID infections climbing back up in the double digits, with 12 new infections recorded in the latest release from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. 10 of those cases here in New Providence, one over in Eleuthera, and another with a location pending for a nationwide count of 33,358. 8 men and 4 women make up the newly infected. 4 of the newly infected have a travel history within the past 14 days. 8 persons remain in hospital, with the intensive care unit remaining patient-free. There are 6 new recoveries, while 112 cases are currently active. 50 patient care assistants will soon be added to the ranks of those holding the guard in the country's healthcare system. Phase 1 of a 3-month-long training exercise began with an opening ceremony held at the National Training Agency.
After this training is completed, we're going to be doing some in-house training for our patient care assistants, which will last somewhere between 3 to 4 months. And from there, they will be deployed at various clinics and the hospitals here in New Providence. There's manpower shortages throughout the healthcare services. We have assessed those manpower shortages, and we believe that we are about 100 patient care assistant shortage. We're trying to fill that gap.
April 2nd marks World Autism Awareness Day and kicked off World Autism Month. This special month is celebrated by wearing the color blue, which is meant to increase and understand the autism spectrum disorder, ASD, which appears to be one of the fastest growing development disability affecting Bahamian children. 1 in every 68 children are affected, with boys being 4 times more likely.
Although a lot of research is being conducted on this disorder, there remains a lot that needs to be done. As parents of an autistic child, we recognize that ASD is definitely more about his abilities rather than any perceived disabilities. These kids are unique in every way, shape, and form. They have the ability to love more and to be loved more, and bring people from all walks of life together to show love and support for this community.
Kill Bahamas Business Solutions
and Alive supports World Autism Month.
For operators in the downtown district, as scores of travelers roam the capital, a needed and continued boost to the tourism industry. This morning, Lloyd Allen has more on projections for the industry and how changing times could transform the way locals view tourism.
On the side of 5 major cruise ships in port, it's a sign of a good day for vendors in the downtown district. But as economies like the Bahamas' Golden Goose continues with full steam ahead past COVID, are the changes brewing?
The traveler has to recognize that our region is incredibly rich.
Industry expert and special advisor to the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, Frank Mito, argues small and medium-sized tourism enterprises remain in a kind of safe zone for attracting post-pandemic travelers.
We're seeing tremendous growth opportunities with SMTEs. And we're also seeing, and we were seeing that pattern before COVID. During my time in the Bahamas, we started seeing a big shift as well. We did our research. Over 70% of the licensed hotels in the Bahamas were small and medium-sized types of hotels. Most of the attention obviously goes towards, most people are focused on the mega resorts and the big resorts because of their size and their volume and so on. But there's a tremendous amount of small and medium-sized tourism activity already underway.
With tour operators, food and beverage, and other tourism spin-offs comprising this group, Camilo explains government and private support remains critical, even by way of intra-Caribbean and local vacationing.
So there's tremendous opportunity, and this for business, pleasure, sports, religious, weddings, whatever. I mean, there's a range of reasons why people travel within the region.
Now, despite the benefits, Camilo says there are further drawbacks.
Cost and ease of air travel within the region. It's easier and more cost-effective to go from the Bahamas to Miami to get to St. Lucia than it is to go, directly to St. Lucia. But in the Bahamas, we know this from history. When we reduce the cost of air travel, we increase the number of people traveling, and the benefits are accrued on the other end of it.
The advice coming from Camilo: comprehensive support for small and medium tourism enterprises, reduced travel costs to encourage local and regional bookings, and consistent safety protocols for all. He believes these qualities will be the secret sauce to continued economic growth.
Now, since its inception in 2019, the Bahamas Alliance for Animal Rights and Kindness has sprayed and neutered over 19,000 animals across the entire country. And as Anthony Smith tells us this morning, with the addition of the newest tool in their arsenal, officials are hoping to increase that.
An animal advocacy group making significant strides in its mission to stray and neuter the nation's pets. This is local organization Bark Bahamas commissions its mobile pet clinic.
And since Bark started in 2009, it's always been basically our biggest dream.
A dream come true thanks to a years-long collaboration with a generous donor.
So inside, there is a full-on operating theater. There are cages. There's a prep table. So it's a full clinic in there. And we will be moving around the communities of Nassau to start with, and to provide low-cost or free spay and neuter for people who cannot afford to spay and neuter their pets.
It's a labor of love, and one duly recognized by the nation's chief. Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, revealing the government's intention to soon provide the organization with grant funding, citing the important role the animal group plays.
The impact Bark will have on our communities in advancing the spay and neuter projects throughout our country will be magnified. This is a critical step in the humane treatment of our animals and ensuring a healthy population.
Last year, the animal organization spayed and neutered over 3,000 dogs and cats. With the addition of their clinic, officials plan to increase that number by 3,000 to 4,000 annually.
So we'll be posting on social media where we're going to be. People will need to make appointments because we will have to have things scheduled. And of course, remember, for everybody out there, if you're prepping your pet, they should not eat after 8 o'clock, no food or water after 8 o'clock the night before surgery. So it's not like just showing up on the day, so it is a bit of a planning process. So, we'll definitely be getting the word out there.
Well, this clinic you see here behind me is set to hit the road on April 20th. It'll be in Centerville. From there, the officials at Bark plan to take this mobile pet clinic around the nation, so be on the lookout for it.
Oftentimes we hear about our young men falling by the wayside and engaging in a life of criminal activity, but this morning, one young man with a disability is trying to change the narrative by making an honest living through his small business.
Help the blind, please. Ice cold water, Gatorades.
Selling ice-cold beverages along Chapel Street and Blue Hill Road daily to any motorist who needs it is how blind entrepreneur Randon Neely is surviving. A visible gap in his head and his vision loss are constant reminders of a car accident that changed Randon's life forever.
I was in an accident 2019, July 13th. I got hit off a bike from a taxi 16 feet in the air. I lose my eyesight when I got in the hospital. I go to see in the hospital like how you looking at me now. When they put the iron in my leg, I lose my eyesight.
Randon, a former C.R. Walker student and bike operator, says despite his disability, he is thankful that Bahamians are supporting his small business.
Come out here by myself. So I got my eyes on me, the lady from the Wesley Church. She name is Thompson. She got me. I got my friends, them to bring me out here, lead me out here, and I just sell them. I make sale every day. It doesn't matter the sale. If I make $5 a day, I'll be happy.
Brandon says maneuvering back and forth from home to sell his products can be quite the hassle for a blind person. But when asked how he's able to tell the types of dollar bills he receives from customers, Randon had this to say.
Either I feel it, get it right, or I go to my friends and then they let them separate it for me and keep it like that. They put the 5s with the 5s, the 10s, the 1s, and then I be good. I don't get swing from them. Once you get the good side of friends and different people you can hang with who's help you, you good. Once you deal with the people who's deal with you, you good. I just go to friends, get it. That's how it is. When I need help, I just ask.
Randon says he wants to learn how to use Braille and to one day open a location for his business.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On April 11, 1972, the Free National Movement held its first national convention. Also on this day in 1990, the Exuma International Airport, built at a cost of almost $11 million, officially opened.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
Lucius Fox making the most of his Major League debut Sunday for the Washington Nationals. Check out this web gem in the second, and he ranged to his left for a dive stop and threw from his knees to retire. Pete Alonso at first base. What a play. He's looking good. And at the plate, he drove in his first career run in the 8th inning on the Nationals' first safety squeeze of 2022. 4 batters later, Fox would score his run in the Nats uniform on a bases-loaded hit from Nelson Cruz, which gave Washington the lead as they went on for their first win of the season, 4-2.
I played Pete in the hole for a pull, and I saw the ball going up the middle, but, you know, my mentality is I want to make every play. So I saw it, and I gave my best effort. I knew I had to dive for it, got up quick, and got him out at first. Before that at bat, you know, my manager came over to me, and he said, be ready, be ready to help this team win. He told me I was going to do something special today, and I'm just thankful he had the faith in me, and I'm just happy I came through and helped the team win.
Not to be left out yesterday, Josh Chisholm, he had a web gem of his own for the Miami Marlins in the bottom of the first against the San Francisco Giants. A diving catch at second base. The Marlins would lose this game, however, 3-2. In the season debut on Friday, Josh showing off his power. He had a 2-run shot in the Marlins' 6-5 extra inning loss, all part of a 2-3 night. Look at that goal. Getting to witness the home run first time was fellow Bahamian Antoine Richardson, who serves as the first base coach for the Giants. The pair also got a chance to catch up with the Richardson and the Giants getting the better of Jazz and the Marlins taking 2 of the 3 games. Let's now go to track and field. Bahamian Athletes commanded the spotlight in the half-lap sprint race in Bermuda. The men's 200 that saw Stephen Gardner stepping down from the 400 meters, where he won this race in a time of 20.79 seconds. It was the season's opener. He had to come from behind to win this race, and he's looking pretty good as he gets set for the World Outdoor later on this year. And look, talking about starting off fast, Anthony Strawn. Boy, she is really having a good early season. She produced an impressive half-lap race in 23.24 seconds, finishing way ahead of the pack here. She would go on to win, and she also already set PBs in the 60 meters this year, 7.17 and 10.99 for the 100 meters.
I declare upon you today, because the Spirit of God spoke a word into my spirit, that God is going to release His grace over your life. The Lord told me to tell you that His word is going to bring alignment in every area of your life, and the blood is going to bring healing to everything that's been broken concerning you. Luke 24:1-6 says, now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came upon the sepulchre to bring spices which they had, preparing certain others with them. And they had found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre. And they entered in, and they found not the body of the Lord Jesus Christ. And they came to pass that, very much perplexed thereabout, behold, that two men standing by them, with shining garments. As they were afraid, they bowed down their faces to the earth, and they said unto them, why seek ye the living amongst the dead? Today is a new day. I hear the Lord says to tell you this is a new season. Whatever happened in the old season is gone. Your new day has begun. And may God bless you this day, and the favor of God be upon your life. Let us pray. Father, we thank you. We thank you that the Spirit of God rests upon brothers and sisters that are under my voice, and that your grace will encompass them, and that no weapon formed will be able to prosper in Jesus' name.
Amen. Now we're going on down now to Cat Island, where the Fish Off Festival wrapped up on Saturday. Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Philip Davis, on hand to watch the final day of the Fish Off, looking quite relaxed. The competition was divided into 3 divisions. Day 1 was diving, Day 2 line fishing, and final day deep drop. As the boats started to come in, the spectators only got larger. And speaking about larger, the crew of Rectifier bringing in a festival record 248 fish, most of which was red snapper, and they posed and was happy with their catch. Later on that night, the awards handed out, and it was Junior of Lady TT taking the overall title.
You can't let this show feel leave. I tell you, I can take them from the break, you know?
You feel to keep it here and win the overall? Because you look like you were shocked that you won it.
No, man, we wasn't shocked at all. We know we was going to win it most def, you know what I mean? First time in the tournament, me, yeah, personally.
How does that make you feel?
Excellent, great, man. Great. Next year, we'll be right back at it. First place again.
Tournament organizer Herman Gilbert a bit hoarse but happy. The fishermen were able to do what they like.
Through all the lockdowns and everything else, persons wanted something to do. It is a pleasure now that they can come back and do what they love. We have good fishermen here in Cat Island, and we have some of the best waters. You know, fish dying of all age here in Cat Island. So next year, I would like everyone to come on down. Those who want to be the best or think they are the best, just enter for next year. It's going to be exciting.
Then it was this big announcement.
We have to make this a national event. Put this on the calendar of events as a national, and we're going to invite fishermen who want to do it the way we started Rake and Scrape. We started Rake and Scrape by inviting Rake and Scrape bands from all of the islands to come here to compete with us. Now with the Fish Off, we're going to start inviting fishermen from all of the other islands. We're going to send an invitation out to them and say, come and meet us.
Oh my God, it was a dream come true when I heard those words, you know. A lot of things we want to accomplish. If you followed this tournament from start to finish, you see Lady TT, a 14-footer, you know, going out there and coming first and second, you know, making their mark. You understand me? It shows that we have resilient people. We have those who can go there, who can do their best. The Prime Minister announcing it, it being on our calendar, we know that it's going to grow and it's going to even get better.
For next year, Ladon, I'm thinking about putting in a crew from from ZNS, but I'm not going to carry Agatha. She talks too much. We can't carry Tyrone. He knows too much. Can't carry Kenoshi because she go and eat the fish before we bring it into the boat. And we can't carry Charlene because she route too much. So it's just going to be basically you, me, probably Roscoe, Johnny, Charlene, not Charlene, Cindy to go in the boat. We're not carrying Agatha.
So how big was that strawberry fish? How big was that?
It weighed 34 pounds, so it's a little lighter than you.
That was humongous. That was good. That would be good for a Good Friday feast.
Yeah, that's what I'm cooking. That's what I'm cooking for you guys.
So we're going to come over and have. Okay, all right. We'll beat you to that. And be sure to stay tuned into the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas tonight at 7. And that's it for us this morning for the entire team.
Don't forget we have a cleaning fish competition this week.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Have a great morning.
Get your nails done.
Seasoned entrepreneur and philanthropist Lincoln Deal joins us next time on Journey TV. Tune in to hear some of his greatest fights and failures and how these were turned into his biggest wins because of his relentless pursuit to fulfill purpose. Don't you miss this powerful episode. Tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on ZNS. Journey TV, we share life's truths.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Greetings. I'm Karen Ferguson Bain from the Pro-Cathedral of Christ the King. The observance of Holy Week has existed throughout many generations. Its solemnity has stimulated the emotions of many Christians and observers throughout the centuries. It is our duty as Christians to do what Christ has taught us, and by this, we mean to continue to carry out the message and the importance of Christ in this current time and in the generations to come. Many Christians have agreed that Holy Week is the climax of our spiritual journey. During this program, we will hear from the perspective of our clergy and some of our lay persons to explain the importance of Holy Week and how Holy Week goes beyond religion and liturgy. It becomes a part of our spiritual lives.
Holy Week is the beginning of the dramatic end to the Lenten season. It begins on Palm Sunday and goes right through to Good Friday. Holy Week can also be called the week of questionings, or the week of questions, because it was at this time when the leaders of the Jews were questioning Jesus in the temple. That was a time when he defeated them and they were left speechless from his answers. But even deeper, especially when it comes to Maundy Thursday, which really, the word Maundy is a Latin word,